It is primary day in Michigan, and polls are set to close 1 hour from now. We have team coverage of all the big races, plus how the voting has been going at local precincts. Let's start with News 8's Jacqueline Francis, live for us in Grand Rapids. So, Jacqueline, just 1 hour left for voters there.
Michelle, 1 hour left, but there's still plenty of time. We didn't really see that after-work rush that we were expecting. It's been pretty slow for the last several hours now, people coming in and out within a matter of minutes. This is St. Isidore Church. It's a precinct here in Grand Rapids' 2nd Ward. Now, we do want to say that as of about 5:30 this evening, the city of Grand Rapids was reporting a 30% voter turnout. That includes both ballots cast in person here at the polls and absentee ballots. So 30%, we do expect to get that number updated as the evening continues. But again, that does include both that in-person and mail-in ballots. I did talk to the clerk, and he said they were actually expecting more of a absentee turnout and fewer people at the polls, but they saw just the opposite. So they've seen more people come in person and cast their ballot than they were preparing or planning for, but it really didn't cause any major problems. So things are going smoothly. Still 1 hour left, plenty of time to come and cast your ballot here at the polls or drop off those absentee ballots to those drop boxes by 8 p.m.
Thank you. And as the voting continues, county clerks are working to make sure everything goes smoothly tonight. News 8 Joe LaFergie is live getting updates from the Kent County Clerk. Joe?
Michelle, as we've been saying for the last couple of minutes, about an hour from now, the voting stops and the counting starts. And these places will be very busy, especially this one here in the next hour. This is the absentee ballot drop-off box for the city of Grand Rapids. It's located right in front of City Hall. And as that 8 o'clock hour draws near, we expect a lot of people will be dropping off those AV ballots. So far, turnout here in Kent County, countywide, has been about 30%, about half those votes through absentee ballots.
It's been a real smooth election today. What we're seeing is as of 4:45 or 4:50 this afternoon, we've issued 86,100 absentee ballots, and we've had, about 72,400 returned. So we're at an 84% return rate, which is normal. That'll keep climbing, we expect. High water mark is usually around 90%.
And just a reminder, those AV ballots have to be turned in to your local jurisdiction, so your local clerk's office or your local polling precinct. And again, they have to be in just like the vote has to be in at 8 o'clock tonight. Back to you.
All right, thanks, Joe. Let's get to Ottawa County now. News 8's Emily Linnert is live at the clerk's office there with a look at how voting is going along the lakeshore. Emily.
Hey, Michelle. Yeah, Ottawa County Clerk Justin Roebuck saying that things went very smoothly today. He's just patiently waiting for those ballots to move in. They will be coming in down this hallway here, and there's a blank monitor that will soon pop up so we can follow along with that counting. He said there were some phone calls to the office today from concerned voters who showed up at polls and were concerned about people campaigning at those polls. And he said that is legal. You just have to stay 100 feet away from the entrance. As far as absentee voting, he says the return rate has been strong this year.
Yeah, so we've sent out over 41,000 absentee ballots. Almost all of those are back. We have about 5,000 left to be returned to our local clerk's offices. So our return rate normally is about 80 to 85%. We're over that right now. We're at about 87% of absentee ballots countywide returned. So that's a pretty good rate.
And again, that blank monitor behind us will light up in a bit so we can follow along with those numbers, something you can do as well at home. That is public information. We will be here all night. We'll bring you some more information as it comes in. Michelle, back to you.
Emily, thanks. Political reporter Rick Albin will be at the big board all night tracking results for us. And Rick, we certainly have some big races to watch tonight.
Yeah, there are going to be a lot of big races. Obviously, one that we'll be following very closely, pardon me, will be the race for governor. Tudor Dixon, Ryan Kelly, Ralph Rebant, Kevin Rinke, and Garrett Soldano. They emerged as the 5 who made the ballot. None has served in elected office, and none were particularly known within the Republican Party prior to this. But due to their activism on various fronts and the ability to qualify for the ballot, unlike at least 5 other candidates, they have been traveling the state leading up to this moment. In just a few minutes, we will hear from our reporters spanned out across the state at various headquarters for a closer look into the race. But let me tell you what I will be watching. Obviously, we'll track what's going on in West Michigan, and we'll bring you that county-by-county results. Kent, Kalamazoo, Ottawa, yes, but all of the counties in our area. With a click of the button, we can go all around the area in a short period of time to see how the race is developing in your area as well as statewide. We'll also look into Oakland and Macomb counties, where we'd expect a large Republican turnout. We know that over 1 million absentee ballots have already been returned. Those are Democrats, Republicans, third-party voters, could be anyone. But to give you an idea of how big that is, in the 2018 primary for governor, where there was a competitive race in the Republican and Democratic Party, there were roughly 2,128,000 votes combined. Almost half that many absentee ballots have already been returned this year. Now, you can't extrapolate from that the voter turnout, and certainly not what the election results will be. But I can say with certainty that with all those absentees that couldn't be counted until today, the process will slow down, and that will slow down results. They'll be coming in later. Something to prepare yourself for as you join us for our coverage coming up tonight at 8. Michelle?
All right, thanks, Rick. And after the break, we are checking in on those candidates in those hotly contested races for governor. Live updates from Grand Rapids, Kalamazoo, and Birmingham still ahead. And we are continuing our team coverage tonight of the primary race with a look at some of the biggest races that voters are deciding tonight. Let's start with News 8's Whitney Burney, who's in Grand Rapids now at the headquarters of gubernatorial candidate Tudor Dixon. Whitney.
Good evening, Michelle. We're here at the Amway Grand Plaza in one of the ballrooms here in downtown Grand Rapids. A private event for supporters of Tudor Dixon kicked off about half an hour ago, where we're all still waiting to hear from her this evening. We don't know what time that will be, but we're hoping to hear from her soon. Her team fairly hopeful about a victory here tonight. As we know, she has been leading in the polls prior to tonight, and of course her team hoping that that endorsement from former President Donald Trump will propel her to a victory. Now, the West Michigan native has run on conservative values that she's hoping will connect with Michigan families and potentially get her that win. Throughout her campaign, she's criticized Governor Whitmer's leadership when it comes to the pandemic. Dixon has repeatedly spoke out about lockdowns impacting patients at nursing homes and keeping students out of school, putting them behind. Dixon says she wants more parental involvement in schools and control over what students are learning in the classroom. She has also talked about her support for police, even speaking out in support of GRPD in the Patrick Lyoya shooting.
Make sure you vote. We are going to bring back our state. We're going to make sure there's no wrong path for any child here in Michigan in education. We're going to bring back safe cities, and we're going to make sure that this is the #1 place for job creators in the nation.
Now, again, we are hoping to hear from Tudor Dixon at some point this evening, but we haven't been made aware of what time she will take the podium and give those remarks. Again, her team is very hopeful for a victory. She's planning to speak no matter what those results are. Live here in Grand Rapids, Whitney Burney, News 8.
Whitney, thanks. Let's go down to Byron Tollefson, who is following Ryan Kelly's campaign for us tonight. Byron.
Michelle, Ryan Kelly is an Allendale real estate agent who became well known for hosting rallies and protesting the Whitmer administration's response to COVID-19, leading him to throw his hat in the race for governor. Kelly has been a big part of one of the most eventful gubernatorial races in recent memory. The FBI raided Kelly's house in June and arrested him. He is now charged with 4 misdemeanors for his role in the January 6th Capitol riot. After his arrest, polls showed him as a front-runner in the race, but recent polls have showed him lagging behind. Despite not getting former President Trump's endorsement, he is a strong Trump supporter, and his proposed policies are consistent with the America First agenda. We reached out to him asking him to be a part of our coverage tonight. This is what he texted back, quote, "We will be on private property. There will be no media allowed. After the results, I will make an official statement and will take interview requests at that point. Thank you for understanding," end quote. I later reached out to him about doing an interview tonight. He has not responded just yet. We will follow Kelly's social media accounts throughout the night and bring you updates. In the newsroom, Byron Tollefson, News 8.
All right, Byron, thanks. In Kalamazoo, supporters are gathering at Garrett Soldano's campaign headquarters. News 8's David Horak is live there for us tonight. David.
Good evening, Michelle. More than 500 people RSVP'd here to what has been deemed as the celebration event for Garrett Soldano's campaign here in the city where he practices his chiropractic office, about a mile north of where we are standing right now at the Radisson Plaza. And again, as you can see, a lot of people congregating and joining each other's company, family, supporters, staff members, what have you. And I spoke with him one-on-one earlier, just within the last hour, and he says that kind of cues into one of many key reasons why he ran for governor in the first place. He said since then it's already been a journey, even before he officially announced his candidacy for governor.
Tell you what, it's been a knockdown, drag-out fist fight in a phone booth because we've been holding this governor accountable for the last 2 years and 4 months. We just started campaigning a year and several months ago, so it has been a whirlwind, but it is, I always kind of relate it to football. You know, this is the final drive of the final quarter in the semifinals before the Super Bowl event in November. So it's been an interesting journey, but it's been an unbelievable experience going around the state of Michigan and talking to all these great folks.
And he's eager and hopeful that he will be the winning team after tonight's poll numbers come on in. A couple of quick notes. They're experiencing technical difficulties right now, and they'll show a couple of videos. Somebody will take the podium to commend, give credits to all the key and integral supporters and staff members who made his campaign what it is today. And then one more video, and then Garrett will take the stage to address everyone here in attendance today. And then it is a wait and see as to how tonight will play out. So we'll continue more of our conversation, including what Garrett will intend to do if he loses the primary in the gubernatorial race. But for now, Michelle, we'll send it back to you.
David, thanks. The other candidates on the ballot for governor in the GOP primary are Kevin Rinke and Ralph Rebant. News 8's Megan Munchman is live on the east side of the state in Birmingham with the latest from their campaigns tonight. Megan?
Good evening, Michelle. Yeah, we are live in downtown Birmingham right now, outside of Kevin Rinke's watch party location. He is not here yet, and as you can see behind me, it's still relatively quiet. Now, Rinke prides himself on not being a politician. He's a political outsider and said he likes to say that he is a seasoned businessman. Now, we have pictures of him and his family voting earlier today around 10:30 in Bloomfield. Again, his family accompanying him by his side. Rinke has spoken out against Governor Whitmer, specifically on her actions during the pandemic and the statewide lockdown. Rinke is also publicly against critical race theory in schools. Now, I've reached out to his team to see how Rinke is feeling. They have not gotten back to me, but again, the businessman is expected to make an appearance later on tonight in Birmingham. As for Ralph Rebant, he's also on the east side of the state tonight, just about 10 miles down the road from where we are right now. We just got off the phone with his team, and he says he is feeling optimistic. The longtime pastor has said that if elected, he wants to take a good look at the state budget. He said he'll stop funding huge university endowments and use that money elsewhere. Rebant also doubling down this week, saying he still believes that the 2020 presidential election was stolen. Taking a look at the most recent polls from Real Clear Politics, Rinke is attracting about 20% of the Republican base. Rebant is about 2% right now. But again, polls will be closing in about 45 minutes. And as we know, those numbers will change quickly. We are going to head inside these doors in about 45 minutes as well when that watch party starts. We will continue to bring you updated coverage as we learn it. For now, I'm Megan Bunchman live in Birmingham, News 8.
Megan, thanks. Another big race that we are following is the Republican primary in the 3rd Congressional District. Representative Peter Meijer faces challenger John Gibbs. We were at the precincts this morning as both Meijer and Gibbs cast their ballots. Former President Donald Trump endorsed Gibbs in this race. Both are confident that they can win this hard-fought primary.
If you're not successful, what does that say about the future of your party? You know, I think that'll be a bridge we cross when we come to it. I don't want to get ahead of the poll results, and right now we're feeling very confident with the support that we've been seeing.
We've got a lot of momentum anyway. We've got so many yard signs out. We've had so much door knocking going on. We visited every single city and township in this new district. We've got to meet so many voters. So I think regardless of what they choose to do or not do, I think we're in very good shape.
And our coverage is just getting underway tonight. When the polls close at 8, we will be live on WXSP and WoodTV.com. Our coverage will continue then at 11 o'clock on WoodTV 8.